Hello everyone, welcome back to the College Football Special. I am the analyst. You can follow me, the Analyst32, on Twitter. You can also subscribe to my channel, the Analyst32, and give this video a like. So, this is College Football Special. Let's jump right into the ugly results from this past weekend. To start things off, we had Alabama going down to Aggieland and beating Texas A&M 41-23 in what was a game that was really controlled by Alabama most of the day. When Texas A&M had the ball, they really didn't do a ton with it. Occasionally, Texas A&M's defense looked good, but eventually Alabama broke through in most cases. Derrick Henry for Alabama had 32 carries, 236 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It was a very impressive performance by the Alabama running back. Another ugly result, Iowa, and what seems to be a trend for Northwestern fans, whooped up on Northwestern 40-10. Woodley for Iowa had 26 carries, 204 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Another 200-yard rusher. It's really impressive, if you ask me. It seems to be a trend today, 200-yard rushers. So, really, Iowa's going in the right direction. Look for them to possibly challenge for the Big Ten title. They don't really have too much in their way at this point until the title game. So, definitely give them a look. Northwestern's kind of falling apart. Are they going to bounce back and get a good bowl game? We shall see. Hopefully they have some better luck with their matchups here in the next few weeks. Another huge game. Oklahoma bounced back again for an even larger win, and Kansas State has a terrible game after putting out great performances against the likes of TCU and such. Oklahoma beats Kansas State 55-0 in a blank. Just, gosh, Kansas State, Bill Snyder, what you doing over there? Falling apart like that, that's pretty disgusting. Starting to look like Oregon all of a sudden. Mayfield for Oklahoma threw 20 for 27, 282 yards and 5 touchdowns, and what was really a blowout game start to finish. And Oklahoma played really well. Bob Stoops really bringing Oklahoma back together after losing to Texas. Expect them to continue to push for higher rankings and possibly a January 1st bowl game. Looking at another ugly result. Well, actually, I'm kind of happy about it because I hate it when Boise State wins. Boise State loses to Utah State in a big way, 52-26. Boise State's quarterback, I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but he threw 25 of 50, 299 yards and 3 interceptions. Hoy vey. Utah State's defense is for real, guys. They're going to make a run at that Las Vegas Bowl, and I really hope Oregon doesn't end up there, because that will be ugly. Let's look at some impressive wins from this past week. Starting off, speaking of Oregon, Oregon beat Washington 26-20. Really, just having Vernon Adams back changed everything. He threw the ball well, really created a deep threat for our offense, which we didn't have the past couple of weeks in Washington State, took advantage of. But specifically, Carrington came back off suspension for the Ducks, and he had 5 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was impressive. Vernon Adams and him seem to have a good connection already, even though Carrington hasn't had a lot of practice time this year. So look for Carrington to be one of those breakout receivers for the Ducks going forward, and we'll see if Oregon can push forward to being a solid bowl team. They have a rough schedule coming up, but we'll see how they do. Going to the SEC for an impressive win. LSU beats Florida 35-28. Florida did well for not having their first-string quarterback due to being kicked off the team for a drug issue, I believe. Fournette for LSU had his 200-yard rushing streak, or rushing yards per game streak, ended today. Or not today, in this particular game. He had 31 carries, still had 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. LSU looked impressive. They're just running the ball down people's throats, and they don't care. Anyway, going on to another big game involving an SEC team. Ole Miss loses. Ole Miss loses to Memphis 37-24. Paxton Lynch throws 39 of 53, 384 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Memphis has been one of those squads that you knew could put up points, but I didn't expect their defense to play as well as they did in this game. Really holding Ole Miss to, well, obviously 24 points, but really holding them down to sputter on offense multiple times. I mean, this is a Memphis squad that gave up a ton of yards to the likes of Cincinnati, and I really didn't think Memphis would be able to hold on to this, but they did. It's a big win for the program, and expect them to be in a running for a top-tier, top-4 bowl game for the playoff, just simply because they might just stay undefeated, and this is a huge win for them, and great for their strength of schedule. Also on impressive wins, Portland State goes up and beats ranked Montana 59-42. Holy cow. Jones carried the ball 23 times for 285 yards and 3 touchdowns. Another 200-yard rusher. Great win for Portland State. They're really going to make a push at the FCS tournament and hopefully get in for the first time in a long time out of the Big Sky. Let's go to my top 10 for this particular week. I still have Ohio State at 1. I have Baylor at 2. Utah's moved up to 3 for me. Michigan State sitting at 4. They got a miracle win at blocking a muffed punt and returning it for a touchdown to beat Michigan late in the game. TCU is sitting at 5 for me. I have LSU at 6, Clemson at 7, Stanford at 8 with another impressive win this past weekend, Alabama at 9, and I have Iowa sneaking in at 10. So, looking forward to this next week's matchups, we have Temple at ECU, Cal at UCLA, Utah versus USC, Oklahoma versus Texas Tech, and Texas A&M playing Ole Miss. Definitely give that one a look. See if Ole Miss can bounce back from this loss against Memphis. Sneaky good games for this next week. Kentucky plays Mississippi State. Don't miss that matchup. LSU is playing Western Kentucky. Normally when you talk about Western Kentucky, you think, oh, why is Western Kentucky playing this? This will be a rollover game for the likes of the SEC school they're playing for. But Western Kentucky only has 1 loss this year. They've been impressive. Watch for them to give LSU a bit of a scare, especially after this big win LSU had over Florida. Arizona plays Washington State. Washington State has jumped up to a 4-2 record and really are going to try to push for a bowl game after losing to Portland State earlier this year. Look out for that. Maybe Arizona makes a statement and gets a big win here as well in the Palouse. In the SEC, watch for Alabama-Tennessee. Tennessee just had a big win this... Well, they had a bye week, but before that, they had a big win coming from behind. So watch for them to give Alabama all they can handle. And then, of course, I generally throw Duke in there in my sneaky good games. They are playing Virginia Tech. This game you'll want to watch. It's probably going to be close, but I do expect Duke to eventually come out with this one. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been the College Football Special. You can like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, The Analyst 32, and you can also follow me on Twitter at The Analyst 32 as well. Thank you for watching, and watch some good football this weekend.